Alright, welcome everyone to a quote-unquote gameplay slash tutorial video. People wished for more gameplay and more advanced tutorials, so I'm trying to provide it. My idea would be that I play a ranked game and I've tried to focus on one specific aspect of the game to try to explain that, because I can't, there's a bunch of stuff going on and a bunch of stuff is important, but I can't mention all of that because there's not enough time. So at some point I could maybe just do a detailed breakdown of a game as a video, but that would be like 1.5 to 2 hours. So ATM, I just can't be arsed. So I'm trying this for now. Let me know what you think. So yeah. And since the queue is going to take ages anyways, I thought, let's start the recording now so I can just give you some basics. The idea for today's video is sending. And right from the get-go, do not worry about this. If your elo is like, I don't know, below platinum or maybe even diamond. There's a bunch of stuff that is more important than sending the correct stuff on the correct waves. Like building the right units, picking the right role, having the right positioning, having a general game plan. Say, on which wave are we weak, on which wave are they weak, where should we, coordinate, and all these kinds of things. Should I push workers? Should I overbuild? All these kinds of things are way more important. I'm not saying you should auto-send till the end of the game, but at least till wave 10, just auto-send and don't worry about it. Then just aim for some weak wave that you think they are weak on, save 2 waves or something, and just kill them. It's going to do wonders for you. Don't worry about this. Okay, so after that, suppose you just want to, learn how to send properly and when to send. And of course, this very much depends on your role, their role, game state, and all these kinds of things. So this cannot be a complete guide for every situation because we won't encounter every situation. But what's important to know is that there's three positions mercenaries can spawn in, which is tank mercenaries in front of the wave, melee power mercenaries in the middle of the wave, and ranged mercenaries. Yeah, tank mercenary is snail, dragon turtle, fiend, dino, ghost knight, siege ram kraken, if I didn't forget one. And then melee power mercenaries, you should think of brutes, ogres, mimics, pack leader, mole, centaur, these kinds of things. And ranged stuff is ranged stuff, right? Lizard, hermit, cannoneer, drake, witch, four eyes, shaman, all these kinds of things. And with his positioning, what's very important is that there's a slight right side spawn bias. So if you have an even split, then typically, and one mercenary in each category is sent, then it will go to the right. This is a little bit less consistent with melee power mercenaries and with the ranged stuff. And obviously then at some point it also depends whether you split with like 2 melee units or a ranged and a melee unit. So then things get a bit weird, but for tanks this works very, very well. And then what happens if you send 2? Well, then the smaller cost mercenary pushes the bigger cost mercenary to the right. So I don't know if I have an example of where that happens or where that didn't happen. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so for example, look at FTQ's build here, right? He gets one snail here, the snail and half the wave goes on the bone crusher. If I send 2 snails or a snail and a dragon turtle, well, you can't send 60 on wave 2 typically, but if I could, then actually, despite this gargoyle being a lot lower than the bone crusher, the dragon turtle would go to the right. Just because of the snail pushing this thing to the right. And this is a very, very common theme, which kind of forces you to, sometimes you specifically want to push a mercenary into a split or make sure it doesn't get pushed there if you're building. So, and this is the problem that Green Spirit encountered in this game is on wave 4, this mask is obviously kind of ruining his split because the False Maiden doesn't tank anything. But if he doesn't put it there and FTQ sends a Fiend and a Snail, then the Fiend will go right and absolutely murder the False Maiden, in which case he would leak just absolutely everything. So these are the kind of things that are typically going on. And with ranged units, this also happens. I hope that I can find a build with a Phoenix somewhere in this, because there's a very nice thing you can do with Phoenix typically um, that makes it share aggro very nicely, but it absolutely gets wrecked by double 4-eyes. No Phoenix to be found. Is there a Phoenix here maybe? No. That's unfortunate. I should have prepared that. Anyways, let's see. Maybe we can show it with a priestess build, right? Okay, this is kind of an example. Imagine this Azaria is a phoenix. You don't typically want to send a 4-eyes into an Azaria, but if this was a phoenix, then this thing would tank some part of the wave below mana and absolutely get a million damage from it and be amazing. But if you send exactly two 4-eyes, one is pushed to the left, one is pushed to the right, and then one 4-eyes will go to the left side and absolutely murder this ranged unit, which is sometimes a very, very good thing. However, if you can't send two 4-eyes, then a Phoenix in this position here is just amazing, because you can't kill it. The wave just does 0 damage to it, it's low mana, it absolutely ruins the wave. So these kinds of things are, always in the back of my mind when I'm sending, okay, how does their build look? What unit do I want to counter and in what way? And typically, what you want to do is you want to try to counter their strong units on a specific wave. Because the weak units are already weak. You don't have to counter them. So, yeah. Income, 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 income. Income, income, income. And this is an example of the... Yeah, okay, well, this is an upper split. Not a good example. No, no. Yeah, this is an example of the Phoenix that I was talking about. Nice. So this later on is probably going to be a Phoenix. Yeah, exactly. And now you cannot... This Phoenix will always survive the wave and be low mana. This is absolutely a complete boss. Which is why, Aviator and the Symbols guy go to wave 16, and exactly, Aviator is sending two 4-eyes. Exactly, yeah. See, I should have just... Yeah, I'm an idiot. Anyways, so now one 4-eyes goes left and absolutely murders the Phoenix, and this is why he's leaking everything. If this Phoenix survives on 1 HP, he clears at least half the wave. And it's completely ridiculously strong. Yeah. But yeah, in general, you want to try to counter the strong units on a specific wave rather than counter the weak units. This is a big mistake that I see many people make, and they send... I don't know, they see a flower build and then they send on wave 7 because the flower is weak on 7, which is not a bad choice, but then they try to hard counter the flower by sending, say, I don't know, a hermit or something, and there's two cats just completely ruining the wave. And yeah, that is kind of unfortunate. Did this happen in this game? No. Yeah, I think we're too high elo in general to have people send complete trash. So yeah, that's the basics of sending. And in general, there's, I think, probably well, I think there's 3 different reasons why you would send, especially in the early game. Later on, they are still there, but less so. The first reason that is typically in the early game is just for income and scaling, okay? You need to build an economy early on, and especially if you have a good roll, just send. If you're unsure, just it's better to send one time too many than one time too little, I think, in general. Then the second big reason is, of course, to break, okay? I see enemy is over pushing, or is weak on a specific wave, or even both enemies are weak on a specific wave, or it's the later part of the game, I want to break them. In that case, I obviously send power mercenaries which give less income, but, they are stronger. Hence, power mercenaries. And the third, less common strategy and reason to send is bait sending. You send on a specific wave, and you pretend that it's a full send by sending, say, Fiend Snail or something. Yeah, you pretend I had the Fiend pre-income and I got the Snail after income. But actually, you had both before the income, and then you save, say, 30-ish Mythium after income to go for a big resend. This is a strategy that is definitely very common in high elo. So yeah, I didn't really do it in this game. Yeah, no. I'll see if there's an opportunity to do it later on when I play, if I get a game. But these are the basics. As I said, it's very important that you ask questions and let me know what you think. Yeah, it's Saturday morning. It's 11:30 in Europe, so all the other good players typically play till, I don't know, 3 a.m. or something, and then uh, you know, then they just go to sleep and sleep till super late. Yeah, 9 hours ago, 2:30 in the morning. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Kappa. Yeah, and this is an example of a bait send. But it's not executed very well, because obviously the DT was pre-income. However, yellow still gets baited into pushing 2 workers, despite Witherson leaking and obviously being 6 workers. But this is also an example of the spawn bias and things, because Wither's build is kind of strong on wave 3. However, FTQ gets 60 out, so he can push the DT into the Fire Archer, and then the Fire Archer dies. I can guarantee you, if this is a 40 cent, even if it's 2 snails or lizard or 1 DT, this is almost a full clear. But specifically because the DT goes to the Fire Archer because of the snail, this is a 60% leak. And this is what's going on permanently in high elo early game. Do I get the 20 more so I can push the stronger tank mercenary into the split or not? Is it even worth it? Sometimes you don't want to do it, and if you don't want to do it, you just, send the big power mercenary and don't send the snail. You keep more pressure that way. Sometimes you king up, and all these kinds of things. They are really, really important, and these details matter a lot. All right, game. Can we get some enemies now? Yeah, and this queue time is specifically an issue because I'm rank 4, 5, 4 at the moment. Like, even if you're, I don't know, top 100, barely top 100, you will find games rather quickly. It's really not an issue. Green Spirit is skillfully D-ranking, nice. Alright, come on, game. Yeah, I don't know. I might cut out this part. If I didn't and you hear this, then I was a lazy bum, as always. Um, as you can imagine. I was hoping for a 10-minute queue, not a 20-minute queue. This is why high elos have, almost all of them have smurfs, because like if you want to play during off hours, you either get a different game to play during queue, or you just get a smurf. Which I hate smurfing, so I don't have a smurf, but most people do. Alright, let's see who we've got and what we can apply. Okay. We've got Eggecare. This guy. I will call him Eggecare because this is Smurf, even though he's definitely higher rated on this account than on his main. The symbols, person, and ID. I don't know. Let's see. I am going to pick YOLO because I like YOLO. It's most fun for me personally to play it. I think I'll start Bone Crusher. Nightmare is a really good start with YOLO as well, but eh. So what I like to do is I like to check their favorite openings to see if there's something that is punishable by a snail. Then I go through it, and you can quickly see, okay, there's no way he's ever leaking to a snail, so I'm just gonna king up on wave 1, as most people do nowadays. Eggy is going to, like, we can see he's a very much income heavy player, so I really want to have a snowbally roll, which I luckily do have. He's also playing YOLO and is typically rather safe on wave 1, so I'm happy my teammate did the king up. Let's wish them good luck and fun, and then let's see what we're doing. Alright, king up. Of course, he's 5 workers. Yeah,
on my way.
Classic. I'm gonna reroll and see if I find a good solution for wave 2. Because I currently don't have one. But I think this is decent. I'm not sure if I want the work or the consort. Maybe I don't even want this. Maybe I want a Graal. Graal is such a versatile unit because you get free shifts all the time. So I'm gonna go with this. It's a bit of a weird roll, but whatever.
What are you looking at?
This is a bit weird, but I think it's gonna work fine. He's being very safe, adding a second gargoyle, but this will make him very weak. This will make him very weak on wave 4. So I'm aiming for wave 4. I think with a consort I'll be okay next. I'm going to be a bit weak on wave 4 myself, but my mate is starting Yozora, so he's gonna be fine. Yozora Sea Dragon, very strong comp, so he just can't leak in the early game. Whoops. God fucking damn it. Typing skills -7. Okay, this should be fine. Yeah. The bazooka is specifically designed to tank the melee power mercenary, the melee mercenary, by the way. Okay, he's adding 2 polys. He might have shifted for a good solution for next wave. So I can't imagine him going for a Seraphim for next wave. What he might do is, if he has nothing, he's gonna go for a Devilfish. So I think I will try to counter his Devilfish by sending a Dino. Double DT is also a very good send here, so it's a gamble. As always in Legion, you don't know what they have specifically, so you gotta gamble, make assumptions. And I think I definitely want to push the Dino into the split so it gets partially focused during the wave, because it does decent pierce damage. So let's see. If he has a Nightmare now, of course he's just gonna hold, but that means he's 4 workers, and if he's 4 workers, I don't mind him holding. And if he's 5, he's already struggling. Okay, he has an Elite Archer. I'm now even happier that I sent the Dino, because obviously it has good typing against the Elite Archer. And since it's never gonna get focused anyways, it's very fine to send the Snail with it. We got a send, so we should definitely push. 2 workers were strong next. Decent leak, I'm happy with that. Eggy is also leaking, so I'm gonna give my mate the thumbs up because he did a good job. And this guy is very weak on next wave, so I am definitely going to resend. I'm just considering skipping and come for a Brood, but it's such a high risk thing that I'm not gonna do it. And what do I mean by high risk thing? Well, it's a huge investment to not get the income, and then it has to actually leak him. And since I think that these players are 2.4k elo, my mate is 2.3 or something, and I'm 2.8, I see myself as very much favored to win the game, so I try to take as little gambles as possible. Let's see. So he added a full gate guard. This would have even held the Brute, I think. So I'm very happy I just income send. I could have anticipated that he's gonna go for a gate guard and then just, you know, send king ups or something. But, you know, then he can also get away with a huge greed, and getting away with huge greed is really, really bad for us if he does that. So yeah, I'm happy with my decision. He's 470 value or something, then he can hold. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna resend a Brute because I get it in income. Because all his units, apart from the gate guard, are really bad next. If he gets a Harbinger, it's of course a completely, utterly free hold. But you know, you can't assume that they will always, you know, go for the giga safe play. I think he might actually try to push some workers. And unfortunately, I'm very weak on wave 7. But Eggy has a lot of workers, so I'm under too much pressure to just do Elite Archer and Shift here, which was my original plan. I'm leaking next. Okay, he just gets the Harbinger. Okay. So this is 200, 345, 360, 460, 560, 650 value, and he had to sell a Polywog for the Harbinger. So this is such a huge investment that, you know, you can't. You just can't. It's unleakable on this wave. I'm considering getting a boar or an elite archer. I think I'm gonna do it like this, even though alpha male is kinda bad here, but I desperately need some tank value. So let's see. Okay, this is just an income send, so we're probably fine-ish, even though the Drake does hard counter my alpha male idea. And it's also really good against my consorts, because it gets the last hits and still survives. So let's see. But if I'm leaking the Drake. That's okay. Yeah, this guy now full push, that's fine. We have molding Eggekare as always. I don't know why both brutes went on the Canopy, looks like a bit of bullshit to me. And now I look at his build, okay, I think he's too strong next wave to leak him. Especially because he's been overbuilding the entirety of the game. So now I'm going to try to leak him on wave 9, despite Harbinger being very strong there, but he's kind of lacking tanks. So Brute Army or even an Ogre would be really, really good. Yeah, getting another Gate Guard, I would... Yeah, and a Green Devil. I would really, really like to get an Ogre here, but I'm not going to. Unfortunately. So, is it Brood Army or Pack Leader? I think it is Brood Army.
Let's go, boys.
And I will add the one snail, just because I can. This wave is very tricky for me, because if I add a boar, I have about 0 damage for the wave. If I add Trinity Archer, I have very little damage for the wave. Trinity Archer is bad on wave 9, and then my tanks are kinda meh. So I'm going for the boar, but I'm potentially probably leaking here. So income send might be fine. Let's see what he did. He did the second Harbinger. So now he should lack tanks, in theory, in my opinion. Elite Archer dies, which is good, but he's sniping the Brute, so he might just be fine.
Alright, sir.
Yeah, double Harbinger too strong. I should have known. I should have probably just incomed. Yeah, unfortunate. Oh no. Oh no, I'm leaking a Drake. This is annoying because now I don't get my Trinity Archer for next wave. I don't need it, but I would have liked to have it. I think 11 is the right wave to send.
Bullseye.
But there's 2 aggressive spells in the game, so I like going 11 because if we send here and they just hold, then we're under tremendous amounts of pressure for wave 11 ourselves. And that is problematic, being under a huge amount of pressure. Alright, Trinity Archer is of course very, very strong. Just as a unit in general, balancing wise. It deals a ton of damage. Yeah, I don't get to Witch, so I'm just gonna send income mercenaries. I'm getting Trinity Archer myself. So this is now the mid-game portion. We're not trying to leak them here. We're just trying to farm our income. I shifted some gold because I saw they took Savior. So I know I can't get a big send here, and it's probably going to be income. So I can push a bit more and a bit quicker. This should be a hold. If it's not a hold, then I did int. Oh my god, he killed his Trinity Archer. What a pleb. I thought he was a good or a decent player. Which he's obviously not. And with a full send, I probably would have leaked him pretty hard. But whatever. Like, this exchange is very fine for us. We did king ups after income. They did not. So they now have a weaker king, whereas our king is stronger, and we got more gold than they did. And now we're trying to aim for a weak wave. So it's either 14. Ideally, I would like to go 15. Because, Eggy Care has Canopy. Canopy is kind of good 14. He's going for gates. Gates are really strong. So we have to send on a wave where they are kind of weak. So I think 15 is the correct call. Especially because we're also... Like, I'm strong enough 14, and he's also strong enough 14 that I think this is possible. I'm going for the usual tactic of pinging the strong units for a specific wave to convince my teammate that we are actually strong on 14. If they go here, I can actually leak despite being plus 55. But I didn't expect them to send here, so I just decided to build fully for next. Yeah. Eggy is building for 14. This guy has double Butcher, Head Chef Sovereign for next. I'm very happy with my decision to go 15. Am I going for this? I think I am. Now I have 1,000,000 damage and very few tanks. But I didn't feel like going for a small boar and then a shitty tank unit. So I rather build like this and have a bit of a DPS build. It's also better on next wave, I think. Even though maybe... No, I'll probably end up adding a few Zeuses. Let's see. And he's going for the Sovereign. So this means we definitely have to send 4 eyes. And I think I'll go for 2 4 eyes because I really want to get through his damage. I wonder if maybe Witches would have been better. This is something I might test in Sandbox afterwards. But again, this is Like, you're put on the spot, you don't know exactly what he's gonna build, so it's a bit of a gamble. I'm definitely sending 2 Fiends, because most of his damage is really weak against the Fiends. And, like, why Witches? Because it's a bit of a... You know, it's a bit of a thing to spam shit on wave 15. I don't like my mate send. He's afraid of the coiler, so he doesn't want to send Shaman, but it's a ranged wave, and if you send Shaman and Lizard, it never gets sniped. So, you know.
Alright, sir.
So let's see. What did he build? He added another Trinity Archer. Okay. Well, then 4 Eyes is definitely fine. Okay, he pulled a Chieftain out of his ass, so the Kraken is very, very strong. We are... Oh, my mate is holding. My mate is actually doing a great job. Great hold. Great hold. The problem is that Wave 18 is still kinda weak in the current meta, and they are gods on Wave 17, and resending isn't an option either, because they are also strong on 16. So we need to go for Wave 18, which means we need to be very, very careful on Wave 17. Luckily, I'm very, very strong on Wave 17. Yeah. Yeah. This should be fine. I should probably not have pushed to 24 workers here. I think I should have just chilled and, you know, pushed two less workers or something, but Wave 18 being weak, it kind of forces you to really send a lot. So I'm kind of worried that it's not gonna be enough if we don't. If I don't have like 7 million workers. Yeah. Yeah. But I think we would have won last wave if my mate sent Shaman Lizard, by the way. I'll try to test it afterwards to confirm my theory and show you why, but yeah, it's kind of what I think should have done. But I'm also not like, when I'm not watching the enemy lane, and right now I'm also trying to, you know, explain what I'm thinking, so I'm kind of limited and I can't be doing like coaching for my teammates the entirety of the game. It doesn't hurt to finish game. Doesn't hurt to finish game. Okay.
Consider it done. On my way. Off to work. Yes, my lord. Consider it done.
Yeah. I built for wave 18 because I never thought they were gonna send here, but apparently they did. But my mate is just like getting income, so it's a free hold. Now we will just see if we can actually leak them on this wave, which is tricky. You may say, but you've got a huge send and they are low value and yada yada, and you're right, but it's still tricky to leak them on this wave. Like, all his units are bad on this wave. All of them. All of them. No joke, no exception. All of them are super weak here, but he still has a chance to clear because of the weakness of this wave. I think a Shaman would be good because one Coiler takes 7 years to kill a Shaman. Or even 4 Eyes are good because they start defending themselves at some point. So, you know, this is kind of the thing. I was hoping the 4 Eyes wouldn't go for the MPS, but go for like one of his tanks. But yeah. Okay, this looks to be a leak, and this I cannot judge because Kraken just does nothing, unfortunately. But even this leak should be enough to kill them. Yeah, it looks like we're winning. GG. Nice. My mate played this really well, apart from his sending, but he did this very well. And I hope that you kind of could take something away from it. Why did I send... Okay, maybe I should say why I sent the things. Shaman 4 eyes, because Shaman... Well,
Victory.
let me talk about it in post game. I sent Shaman because Shaman on wave 18 is almost a must send. I sent the 4 eyes because I want to make sure that no matter what he builds, like he full build for wave 19, yeah? If he spams tanks and stuff and tries to have his Sovereign pop off, I want to have something to counter a lifesteal Sovereign. I sent the Mole because there's a bunch of shit, like a bunch of Trinity Archers and stuff. And if he splits the wave properly, they are really strong on this wave, for odd reasons. And then I sent the Centaur in case he just starts spamming stuff. And let's quickly test this to see if I'm right with my assumption that in fact a Shaman and a Lizard would have been a great send. Or if you want to send tanks, maybe Ghost Knights are better. And what we should definitely have done is talk about it, so that at least one of us sends a Shaman. Because Shaman on wave 15 is like really strong.
Welcome.
Especially on the king. So I would have sent a Shaman, and because I don't trust this Coiler, I don't trust Coilers, they sometimes snipe range stuff, I'm gonna send one Lizard. This will push the Shaman to the right, so it never gets focused. Then I'm actually going to send a Ghost Knight, because I think it's good. And then probably a DT. Ghost Knight in the split is totally fine. It's totally fine on wave 15. Like, we don't care about it. It's still gonna tank. And as you can see, now because of the Lizard, the boss is protecting the Shaman. And, you know, it's the Coiler just gets instantly sniped. So we didn't even need to send the Lizard, okay? Just to put it out there. And as we can see, this is a full boss league with a Shaman, which is... Let me check... let me check my profile, how much it was in-game, but I think it was significantly less. 2 small creeps and a boss, but I think the boss was slightly hit. This would definitely have been lethal with the Shaman for them. But you know, I really don't want to complain. My mate played a really good game. He had a really good build. I'm very happy with what he did. So yeah, that's it. Quickly going through it. Yeah, king up on wave 1. Oh yeah, Sandbox is gonna kick me soon. Anyways, I see he's building Gargoyle. He even goes to 6 workers. That's very ballsy, but that has to be cash out, right? Yeah, it's cash out, okay. But then, you know, I don't know what he has for wave 4. Dino is a universal send that is very good. If I knew he builds like this, I wouldn't have sent the snail. But you just don't know it. The resend here specifically, because if he doesn't add or just goes for 1 Seraphim or a Devilfish, he probably leaks. But he adds a full gate guard, so that's fine. Then I know he's weak next wave, so I'm gonna resend because I get Brute in income. But he gets the Harbinger, so, you know. This is what we call an overbuild. Then I'm just gonna income a bit because I'm scared because I get a bit big send here. Like, I'm undervalue. Well, actually I'm overvalue, but all my units are trash, so I'm scared. Then I'm trying to go for wave 9, hoping he doesn't have enough tanks for his Harbingers. But he does. Harbinger is really strong on wave 10. And then we look at their builds. We're like, okay, there's 2 aggressive spells in the game, 1 defensive spell. let's not send 10, so we're under too much pressure for 11. We see that they take Savior on their King HP, so we decide to income King. Yeah, because we send pre-income to hold their send if they go for the aggressive spell. And then at this point we look at their builds and we realize, okay, at least Aggie with Gates and Lioness and stuff has a strong role, so we kind of want to ruin them. We want to go for a break. And Symbol's guy doesn't look too strong 15. Aggie also looks very strong on weak on 15. So we decide to go for the long save, which is why we push very few workers here and we purposefully stay over value. Also, we're by far ahead right now, so no need to risk. And then we go 15. My mate even holds, which is really good, but this was also a bad send, but still. This was also a bad send. I potentially should have sent a Shaman, but as I said, didn't know he was gonna go Trinity Archer and 2 Gargoyles, so, you know. If he just goes Gargoyle spam, I like the double 4-eyes. Or just Witch spam. Anyways. And then at this point we realize, okay, well, their only weak wave is 18, so we gotta go 18. We prepare for 18 ourselves, because they should have gone 18 against us. Just to cover themselves a bit more. They go 17, I league small, my mate easy holds against the income, and then we just win on 18. So yeah, that's it. I hope you learned something, and let me know what you think, and let me know what I can improve in the future. Yeah, thanks, and if you have been, thanks for watching.